Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot, or should I say Fortune Cookies Lenormand. So we're going to be using Lenormand cards today. It's a little bit different from tarot. It's a lot easier to get started than tarot. I do have a new class in my digital academy, strictly on Lenormand. Lenormand is 36 cards, very simple. It's based on the playing card system. If you do take my class, there's a brief history of Lenormand, but essentially Mademoiselle Lenormand was from the Napoleonic era, and she was considered the ultimate cartomancer of all time. So she is a big showpiece in my industry. But I thought we would do a little bit of this. Differences between tarot and Lenormand. Tarot, there's a great deal of symbology in the deck. In the traditional Rider-Waite, there's Christian symbology, there's Judaism symbology, there's Freemason symbology, color symbology, astrology is mixed in. There's all kinds of stuff, alchemy in some decks. There's lots of stuff that you can look into to read with the cards. With Lenormand, we can just read. We can just know what the cards mean and kind of associate them with a keyword and then read sentences. Whereas tarot is very visual and pictorial, Lenormand is much more verbal. So I think you'll be able to see what I'm talking about when I pull a couple of cards on what's going on with Joe Biden. So, and I apologize for being absent. We had have some personal stuff going on with a friend. I did put a post in my community post with a GoFundMe that we are doing for her. She's going through some health issues. But I was reeling from the incident, from the, I have to say, assassination attempt with Donald Trump. I was reeling from that. It was a pretty wild experience, and I was extraordinarily concerned. I have been saying for some time that I thought there was going to be an attempt like that, and I did think it was going to be Joe Biden. I didn't think it was going to be Trump. I've always been suspicious, though, that there have been attempts with Trump or plots that are hatching. We'll talk a little bit more about him in another reading, because apparently there was an Iranian plot to take him out as well. So we'll talk about that in its own reading. Those of you that are noticing, I am starting to use his name fully on here, and I am losing subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, or you found yourself unsubscribed, please resubscribe so that you can get more amazing content like this. So let's take a look. And like I said, we are using Lenormand today, and this is the Sierra Marchetti Gilded Reverie Lenormand. One of the reasons I love this deck is because I love anything sparkly. I'm like a magpie, and the edges are gilded, which is gorgeous. But Sierra Marchetti has a number of decks, tarot decks, gilded deck. The illustrations are gorgeous. They are stunning. Now, the deck is a little bit shiny, so there may be some glaring on here. I'm going to be sure to read off the cards. So since we're doing like sweet little baby course for you guys, I want to make sure that I let you know how this works. So we're going to do a 9-card spread for him. So essentially what we're going to ask is, how should President Biden respond to all of the situations at hand? There's a lot of call from his party to, let go of the ghost here and kind of mosey on down into retirement. There's conflicting ideas on that. Even some big people have really been calling him to kind of step down from the situation. But let's take a look. So heart of the matter, center of the problem is the key. Okay. Now, when we read Lenormand, we want to associate a key word with the card. So in here we have key. Situation is to unlock something. I'm going to do a clarifier card over that. Unlock what? Unlock clover, change in circumstance, change of luck. So we're just going to tuck that under here because I really did want to do a 9-card spread. So the center card really helps us understand the situation that's going on. The cards around it are going to give color to that. And just so you know, we always read Lenormand in the upright. That is Tower. It's very different from the Tarot Tower. Letter. And then we have Woman. We're going to give her a little cover up there because Ciro's not shy. We have Snake. Crossroads. We have another woman. We have Bear. And we have the Man. So just a side note, some decks will have 2 women and 2 men, an older woman and a younger woman. Sometimes it's a prince and a pauper. We have 2 variations. The gentleman and woman cards will represent individuals. Okay. So the cards around them are going to give it a little bit of flavor, but they will represent people. So we read from past to future, 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 past to future. This is what's going on in his mind right now. This is what's going on in the present moment. And this is what's going on subconsciously. That's how we're going to read this. We do the diagonals for underlying or hidden things that will affect this. So let's look at the problem. So we have a problem unlocking the luck, bringing the love back to his campaign. In the past, we have subversive things that have come up to bite him. So right now, and I do think that this may be the bullseye comment, we have some things that are coming up for him that are not really looking good. In the future, in the immediate present, we have a crossroads. We need to make a decision. He's still undecided on this. There's still too many people that you can see. There's many people here that are really telling him, no, we can't do this. Older woman, guarantee you this is Jill. And we have the Man here. I guarantee you this is Hunter. This barefoot lover with a rose is really somebody who's emotionally working on a situation or a dilemma. And I do think that Hunter is by nature a much more emotional person than a rational person. So up here, the Tower, sanctity, safety, and isolation. Okay. Our Tower, it's not destruction. I'm just going to bring it over here because there is a glare. It's not destruction, cataclysmic change like it is in Tarot. In Lenormand, it is isolation. Also, sanctity and safety. When you're up in a tower, you're safe. You are away from other people. You have a higher ground and you have a better perspective of what's going on. Intuitively, I don't think that this is better perspective. I think this is isolation because people have been backing away from him after the debate. It's almost like he just keeps getting knocked down. So he's been isolated. This is absolutely in the past the letter that was written by the leading Democrats who said, hey, we're going to lock up the $90 million in donations. We're not going to proceed with this. We want somebody else on the ticket. And then here is Jill responding to that. I am going to pull a clarifier card just for her. This woman says, it's a gift. You are a gift. We have to keep going. Stay committed. Because you have the experience and the knowledge that you're able to do this. So this does echo some sense of delusion here. Even though these are very positive cards, advising someone where the powers that be are saying, get off, get off the ticket, hand it over to someone else, advising someone that, like you're still doing it, stick with it, stick with it. You are God's gift to politics. This is a very foolish endeavor here. So we're going to go into the immediate mind. The immediate mind, this is the things that he said. Now, the the Irish luck that we bring in here, and those of you that don't know this, Joe Biden's code name was Celtic. And Hunter's was something like the boss man or the chieftain or something. Oh my God, something awful like that. So, knowing that things are really bad, that these things are coming up to bite him, having the key to getting out of that and turning it into this Irish luck is not guaranteed. With the crossroads, it's not guaranteed. We can't see what's beyond these doorways. One looks light and one looks dark, but we can't see what's beyond them. So we really need to use our higher knowledge to make that decision. In the immediate future, we have this younger woman. This is not a young woman. I think this is Kamala. Kamala sitting in the back, handing over work to her. Does not look like it's going to happen. It looks like Hunter is blocking that. Hunter does not like that idea and does not want to go forward with that. So what is the best course of action for Joe Biden at this point? We have coffin, transform. We have the heart and anchor. I think this is transform. Now, when we talk about the coffin and transformation, if he were to leave now, he could possibly salvage his reputation in the pages that will be dedicated to him in the history books. He may be able to save that. But it's leave now. He needs to mea culpa, fall on the sword, tell everybody what's going on, and say, I'm out. I'm not going to do it. He needs to tap out, just like in professional wrestling. So that is your of Lenormand. And I'm just going to pull this back up. So I think this week we'll be doing a lot more Lenormand. I will link this deck in the description of the video as well. I know a lot of my students that are taking the Lenormand class right now are asking about different decks. There's a number of different decks that you can use. I really like the Ciro Marchetti, but I do have this Lenormand of Enchantment, which I'm going to get down and dirty with this week. I bought that some time ago. And then I have 3 or 4 traditional Lenormand decks. If you're interested, you can go and you can check out my class. I'll have a link to sign into the school, and I actually am discounting the class right now. So you get a pretty big discount. It's another 20% discount off the tuition. Tuition will be going to the regular price in the fall. There's an option to have a private one-on-one class with me for an additional cost. I tried to make it as reasonable as possible. And you will have lifetime access to the class, and I'm going to keep adding things to it. So there's, right now there is a workbook in there, but I'm going to add a journal that you can either print or you can download. So there's going to be lots of goodies in there. There's a chat board. It's really, really terrific. So it took me a long time to land on Learn Worlds for my platform for my digital school, the Academy. So I'm very pleased with what I've got so far. And really, it's a great site. And I think it's a great class. I'd love to see some of you in there. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to do some more production for you guys. So I will see you very soon. Have a great day.